guys, and welcome back to the channel. So Langston wanted to do the video with me today, and I gotta pick and choose my battle, so we're gonna do this. Alright, so the last time we left off, we left with your customer, your products, and kind of the first beginning of parts of the marketing plan. Today we were going to be finishing we'll be finishing the marketing plan, and then hopefully moving on to location. The last video was kind of lengthy, so I decided to go ahead and break it up even more, and then just kind of make it kind of short, so that you're not sitting here looking all day like, why? Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started on that now. So, the next part of your marketing plan is going to be your competition analysis. The competition analysis is basically you scoping out other people that sell what you sell and possibly in the same price range. They kind of target the same people. So if you target 16 to 24, then you want to find a boutique that kind of does the same thing. Now, I wouldn't go so far as getting chain stores like Ross and Marshalls or Rainbow or City Trends, because you don't have a chain, all right? So their overhead is going to be a lot less than yours. So they have the potential, and then they sell a vast array of products. Who knows where they get their stuff from? So because you don't know all of that, you want to go with other small specialty stores like yours. So where you're going to list, and I did it in a table form, and at the end when I upload the video, the business plan, you'll be able to see that most of the stuff I had to do some kind of comparison or something like that, it was in a table. So anyway, you want to list the name and the address if it's a physical store, or you can do name, email address if it is like online. Like mine is online, so I did email addresses. The URL. Sorry, not email address, but the URL of the particular store that you're visiting. So if it's like for mine, it was like www.prettyandpink.com. All right, that's not a real store, or I don't know if it's a real store. But if you did www.prettyandpink.com, then you would be looking at their clothes. So what they're selling. Is the website, does it load fast? Is it slow loading? Is it easy to navigate? Click through and go to the checkout and see if it's easy to check out. You want to make sure you see how difficult or how hard it is to shop with this store, right? Because then you're going to look through this as a consumer, not as a business owner. You're looking at it as a consumer. Are you having fun? Because you're distracting mommy. So stop it. But you want to look at the strengths and the weaknesses, the price range, their products. So if they sell accessories and shoes along with clothes, you want to note that in your business plan. If they just sell clothes, you want to note that in your business plan. And so you want to put all that on here. One thing that I did notice about mine, because I did mobile units as well, because I plan to have. Is he? He's talking about the dog, so the dog wants to be in the video too. Apparently, that's not happening. The dog cannot sit on my lap, so the dog will not be in the video. One thing that I did find with mine in regards to the mobile boutique, the mobile units, was they didn't have any like events. Like you could book them, but they didn't have any events. There was no contact information as to where they're going to be in the city, if they're going to be downtown to shop or whatever. No events section to see about that. So that was a weakness. One of the strengths for the online store was they had a huge array of products. You can go in there and get all the clothes you felt like, from pants to skirts, dresses to shirts. Accessories, they had a ton of accessories. They had some shoes. But the same thing on the other hand with that was, one of them, the website loaded slow. And then there were just so many products. It's like, I was overwhelmed. Even me. And I love shopping. I was overwhelmed with the amount of stuff they had on this website. It was crazy. Okay, so and then you're always gonna do like an intro to any table or whatever. You're gonna list who you compared, um, and then how you got this information. So did you personally do this yourself, or did you have somebody else do it? Like, did you pay for it or something? You want to list that in there too. And so that is your competitive analysis. I don't know if you can see it, but this one's in table form. It's a little bit more detailed than mine. Mine was not that detailed. I'm going to be honest with that. Okay. So the next part of the video, we are going to talk about the strategy. Strategy is probably the last part of your marketing plan. Strategy and then your budget are going to be the last part of your marketing plan. With your strategy, you're basically telling someone how you plan to reach your target audience. Is it going to be through radio? Is it going to be through magazine advertisements? Are you going to skip that all together and just do social media? Will you have promo cards to pass out to people? Stuff like that. And so you want to basically go in there and outline how you plan to do that. In mine, I actually had a summary of we're going to do this, this, and this, and then I kind of broke those down into different sections. So radio had a section, magazine publication had a section, stuff like that. And I even went so far as to call people or email people to see about pricing and budget and how many people even come through their site or their the radio station, how many people listen to the radio station, stuff like that, because I broke that down into a dollar amount. So is it going to be worth going to spend the money if you're not going to get that much back in revenue? So for instance, if this particular avenue of advertising sees 10,000 people a month, and you just hope to get 10% of that traffic, right? You're looking at about 1,000 people just visiting the website. You would hope to get, and this is just hypothetical, you want as many as you can get, but you would hope to get 5% of those people to click through and buy, right? So if you were to do that, then you're looking at about 50 people. And with that 50 people, if you have an average cost of, say, $40 per item, that's $2,000 from that particular source of revenue or source of advertising. And if you take out the amount of product, the cost per product, and then the cost of the advertising, is it going to be worth it to have this? So if it's $200 to advertise and the cost of product was another $300, you're looking at a break even of $500. And so if you got a break even of $500 and you got $2,000, that's $15 in net income. That you get to put in the bank, that you get to buy other product with, that you get to put into more advertising, right? So you want to make sure that particular source is going to be worth it. Because if it's not going to be worth it, then there's no point in doing it. I did the same thing with radio. So how many people come in through radio? With your social media and stuff like that, that can kind of be free. You can advertise on Instagram by posting yourself every day. And it just, that really depends on if you want to go the extra mile and do like paid posts where somebody else posts for you on there. If they have 20,000 followers on Instagram and you hope to get a little bit of that traffic, you may want to do that. I didn't put that in my business plan because it's not something that I'm interested in for right now. But it's a great thing to do. So with the strategy, you also want to put your pricing in there, your budget. So what do you budget per month for advertising and marketing? And what is entailed in that? So if you got radio, you got advertising, magazine ads, you got promotional materials, stuff like that. You want to put that in your budget. That way you know how much per month you're looking at coming out in marketing and advertising. So the last part for today that we'll be talking about is going to be your location. So when you think about location, you want to get somewhere that your target audience is going to shop at. So do you plan to be in the mall? Are you going to be in like, is it going to be a physical mall, or is it going to be a strip mall? Or are you going to get an independent location? Or do you plan on, getting a location for yourself to rent? On top of that, you want to look at parking. Are they going to be parking in a parking deck? Do you have to pay for parking? Is it going to be open parking? Something like that. You want to make sure that you look at these places. Go so far as to visit where you would like your potential place to be, because you want to make sure that, the crime rate is low. If people are breaking in cars, you don't want to put your store there because of the deter traffic, which won't lead to sales. So you want to make sure that you do this. That way, you're not looking at going in a year and then 20 people have had their car breaking into, so people really don't want to come into this place, and they're like, oh, we're not going to go over there. We're going to go over here because they're not breaking in the cars over here. You don't want to have to do that and then have to pick up and go somewhere else right after your first year. With that, you also want to put your mortgage. How much is, or the lease. Is it going to be leased, or are you going to buy it straight out? How much is rent going to be if you're going to lease it, right? Electrical bills, your water, because you have to have a bathroom. You're going to have to pay for that. Are there any codes that you have to have? If you're going to do a build out, how much is the build out going to be to turn it into the boutique that you want? So all of that is kind of going to go into your location and your location budget. So I hope this video is helpful to you, and I hope everyone has a miraculous week, and I will see you next time.